Mourners in Istanbul have attended a symbolic funeral for the murdered journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Tens of thousands of worshippers in Saudi Arabia also joined prayers for him. Mr. Khashoggi disappeared after entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul last month. Initially, Saudi authorities said he had left the building alive. Eventually, faced with mounting evidence, they admitted that Jamal Khashoggi had been killed. Saudi prosecutors now say they are seeking the death penalty for 5 nationals they say were involved in his death. DW correspondent Julia Hahn joins us from Istanbul. Welcome, Julia. So this is 6 weeks ago, 6 weeks since Jamal Khashoggi disappeared. No sign of his body yet, but there was a funeral today in Istanbul.
A symbolic funeral, a funeral prayer at the historic Fatih Mosque here in Istanbul. Symbolic because Jamal Khashoggi's body, or the remains of his body rather, have still not been found, and many here believe they will never be found. That's one of the reasons why his family and friends have called on people to attend these ceremonies today in honor of the slain Saudi writer, not only here in Istanbul, but also in Mecca and in Medina in Saudi Arabia. That's Jamal Khashoggi's hometown. Here in Istanbul, people gathered in front of an empty table, an empty slab. This is where, according to the Islamic custom, Mr. Khashoggi's body or his coffin should be. And his supporters and friends had a very clear message. They said they will continue to ask questions, continue to seek justice, and continue to press for those who ordered his killing to be punished.
Well, Saudi prosecutors say they are seeking the death penalty for the 5 nationals charged with this murder, but the Turkish government is still unhappy.
Well, there have been indictments presented for 11 suspects. For 5 of them, the Saudi prosecution demands the death penalty. That's correct. No, the Turkish government is absolutely not satisfied, especially since the Saudi prosecutor presented, again, a new narrative. His narrative now is that a team of 15 Saudis went to Istanbul to persuade Mr. Khashoggi to return to Saudi Arabia, then ended up killing and dismembering him in a rogue operation. Riyadh still maintains Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman had absolutely nothing to do with the murder. Now, Ankara, the Turkish government, says this explanation is insufficient. They're now calling for an international investigation. And as if to keep up the pressure here, Turkish media have been reporting today that there is a second audio recording contradicting the Saudi narrative, allegedly proving that it was a premeditated murder. The Turkish government said it shared at least one audio recording with international partners so far, but these recordings, which are a very essential piece of this puzzle, have not been made public so far. That's what we're still waiting for these audio recordings to be released by the Turkish government.
So what is it that Turkey then wants from Saudi Arabia? What will make them happy about this?
Well, that's the big question. I mean, the Turks have been leaking information, bits of pieces of information during the past weeks to basically increase pressure, keep the pressure up against the Saudis here. There has been speculation that Turks are up for some kind of deal that would possibly also involve the US as the Saudis' most important international supporter here in the region. Of course, this is also a very sensitive issue overall when it comes to regional power balances. So I suspect this issue will continue for a while. The Turks will keep on increasing the pressure and see how far they can get if at the end somehow they will be able to implicate higher ranks of the Saudi leadership, possibly also Mohammed bin Salman in this case.
Julia Hahn in Istanbul, thank you.